Hello, folks. Richard Moore, USAGSA. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday. It's beautiful here in the dirty South. And I hope it's beautiful wherever you are. I'm going to talk a little bit about the dynamic behind these people that troll, harass, and stalk nationwide. Community oriented policing, pathetic. Cops program, neighborhood watch, and project fill in the damn blank. It's the herd mentality of getting those that they can get in the herd. They'll go for anything. Yeah. I heard years ago, and I think it holds true. You show me somebody that won't stand for something, and I'll show you somebody that'll fall for anything. And these people have fallen for anything. They're the ones that are pointing the fingers. Deflection. I'll talk about personal firsthand knowledge that I have that gives you a clear snapshot of what's really going on behind the scenes with these people. So be forewarned if you've got if there's any children around, you might want to get them off doing something else. If if you're sensitive to the truth, you may want to turn the channel because that's all you're going to get here is the unadulterated truth. So help me God. I truly am born again. And so when I uh, make an oath and I say something like that, I don't take God's name in vain by taking an oath and then knowing good well that that was a damn lie and built a whole life and career off of lies. That's not what we're doing here. It's not my deal. So these community people that are of course they're all over social media. They think they're running that deal, and folks they're not running shit, but their heads. And these trolls, and all they do is hang on. And you know, you could say Jesus walked on water. And they want to report that as hate speech, and then you'll get the other ones get on there that want to love bomb you, love you, love you, love you, love you. Then they ghost you and whatever. You know, this all this psychological warfare straight out of the CIA playbook. I had no idea the depth of evil and corruption in this world. I don't what I was thinking. I mean, if you make me the same way. I mean, I knew they were some screwed up people and this, that, and the other. But who in the hell knew that just about everybody in the mix is suspect? Come to find out, everything we were told was a damn lie. Now we're realizing that for those that realize that, uh, if you ever went to church, church ain't like it used to be because it's not. That's because these fake churches can't be like it used to be. God's like it used to be. He says, "I'm the same yesterday, today, and forever." He's not going to change, and I'm satisfied. He's going to hold true to every one of his promises, and he told us about such a time as this. So after going to prison, federal and state prison, uh, a completely manufactured deal, I had no idea. I knew some people here and there, you see it on TV, did get a fair shake. Shit, I didn't know it was business as usual. I didn't know it was possible to go to trial and be innocent and still get convicted. Oh, you better believe it. 10 years to try to figure out and wrap my mind around how could something like this happen. You see, the community would have you believe we're doing this and watch these person criminals and all that stuff. Everything they're saying, save the children, for instance. Don't you want to save the children? Well, sure. Okay. Now, what that means to you and I, and what that means to them, is not the same thing. The question you need to ask is save them for what and for who? Then where you want, that's what they want to save the children for. I'm against abortion. Of course they are. Of course they are. You can't load airplanes up and tunnels and buses and buildings and everything else if they're not here. And so you get confused about where these people stand in the scheme of things as being someone that has a moral compass. And you can't have that without God. And someone that believes in law and order and that justice should be blind and that we shouldn't have a two-tiered system. And the Constitution of the United States of America is still a functioning document. It's still there. And they'll make it look every way they can. You're not getting those rights, not getting denied, because everybody that's telling you that I know you think that they're getting denied, but they're not. If everybody's batting from the same batting cage, you're going to get that, and that's the deal with this holistic approach to policing. So about 10 years of my life thrown away. So many people in my family. I'm not going to go through all that. People passed away, and I'm will be able to service for my mother. That was unexpected, coming up next week. And I won't get on that right now, but I will tell you that to say that the commitment of myself at USAGSA of being the of taking it up a level, of bringing this to a whole different level to help others, and because there's a lot of people that are gone now, and I know plenty of them. So we're going to be taking this approach with a vengeance, and truth is always the sword. So after 10 years of this in my life, I'm out of prison, and the whole world had changed. I didn't know that this program inserted people in, and they built the ecosystem around you. My friends, all they moved off. That everything's changed, but they on purpose and deliberately will put these pathetics in your life. And nothing is off the table of how they do it. You get two flat tires, and lo and behold, the most convenient person there is somebody that can fix the tires and all that. And now you got, and they stack the deck. Well, this happened in Oklahoma, Mississippi. And I'm going to tell you about these folks in Oklahoma, Mississippi. Because, folks, let me tell you, I was on federal probation, and it was 3 years probation. I think it took me 5 years to do 3 years probation. Should have been on probation in the first place. Should have never went to prison. That's the point. Who knew that these pathetics in the community were working with the federal probation officer? Just tell them. Peters is her last name, and she still works there in some capacity. When they tell you, we're here to help you integrate back in society, blah, 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 that's all bullshit. I know firsthand that this woman was working directly with the enemy and they continuously contemplated and plotted and strategized how they could get me to violate probate where they could send me back to prison. God was breaking the law. They knew that to hell. He never broke the law. Uh, that wasn't going to be the question. We'll make it minor rule violations. They will violate you go to court. They give you an attorney. It's based on preponderance of evidence. You go back to prison. So I get out, and I get it's one of this family inserted into my life, into the deal. And this is we'll start with Stephanie Owens Jameson and throw in as many names as you want to. And her son, Tanner Young. Tanner Young. All of them are screwed up, but Tanner Vaughn, Vaughan. Currently going by the name Wild Child, or depending on what platform you're on, nigga bitch, say Tanner, ain't no telling, Rambo Rainbow, Little Vaughn, and shit, it goes on and on and on. They've had to get the fans only pages and some of that talk. God Almighty. So the deal is, so he's inserting there, trying to exploit my expertise, and my expertise is in business and running businesses and corporations and all that kind of stuff. It's not hard to do the math. Now, when you talk about deflection, the reason I'm bringing all this up, folks, is they managed to get. I've started over from started over again, and bam, violated. They sent me back to prison for a year because of these people, because they said I broke a rule. So another year, get out, and let me tell you, folks, same stunt, same deal. Deal gets old. That determined to destroy you, determined. So when the then coroner and whatever else he does down there in Chickasaw County, Mississippi, Michael Fowler, he made the statement. Him and the deputy sheriff Jimmy Wright. So remember that name, Jimmy Wright. Remember all those names. It came back real quick that we're gonna get him, and then we're gonna lock him up. I'm like, that's right. Get him for what? Let me tell you, folks, 8 million Americans annually are slated for destruction by these herds of soulless, ungodly pathetics. Ain't there one of them born again. Ain't there one of them. These are the ones that are busting hell wide open, and it's big road hell. So, and so the boy, I've come to find out, he's got a thing for men, and that's one of their talking points. What's the deal with him in their camp? Well, they got some love relationship. It's always, folks, with this stalking program from coast to coast. I don't give a damn who you are or where you are. If you're targeted, then you know, no matter what's going on, how they're targeting you, trying to destroy your life, isolate you, make you unemployable, make you homeless, force you into suicide, and being a nut job and everything else, with the cooperation and the leadership of the Department of Justice and the criminals with badges. The synonymous thread is always SEX, because, folks, it's deflection. They're all sexual deviants. All of them. Okay? That's why they want this old boy to shut up. And guess what? I ain't shutting up. That's already good. So, this deal, I started realizing something is in the water. It's in Oklahoma, Mississippi, and Chickasaw County. Something in the water. So I got this 46 something year old. His mom was 40 something years old. About the size of an average size dairy cow. It's always been like that. Now, before she got the dairy cow phase, she was a cheerleader. Oklahoma high school, and attractive cheerleader. That come to find out, any guy that went to school during that time in the 80s um, that ever thought that they wanted to be with a cheerleader got to be with a cheerleader. Okay, she made that dream come true for more than we'll ever be able to count. And her two childhood friends. Now that's Stephanie Owens Jameson. It's the Vaughn boy's mama, and she is an elementary school teacher. Okay, I'm gonna put it together for you folks. Got two friends. Let's talk about these. We'll talk about these two friends, but we're going. And so the other one is Tanya Davis, and I've actually known. I've given them all pet names to. It's easier to remember and help you understand what we're talking about. And so we call her the blowjob slob. And then you got Sandy J. Whitlock, aka Oompa Loompa looking bitch. First bitch, I mean, and you can't tell none of them if they're walking or rolling. They as wide as they are tall. Sandy J. I mean, her head sits on her shoulders, no neck, and wants to wear a choker and some silky see-through something. But God, don't nobody want to say, but she's the first one to put it on. And so, as I'm reintegrating society, the first was one of those two that came over to. They was cooking something on the grill and asked me over there, and I'm looking this thing over, and I had no idea, you know. I mean, so Tanya Davis, uh, now folks, her family, they're pillars of the community here, okay? Uh, so it's her birthday. It turned 40 something, whatever it was. Happy birthday. Uh, little forward acting, I thought, but maybe that's just me. No, that's the way it is. And so, okay, birthday said, well, you know what they say about women? I said, um, oh, here we go. I mean, what do they say? Well, sexual prime. I said, damn. Uh, I said, well, I was hit the street corner with it or something. Uh, I'm trying uh, I don't want them on me, okay? And then in that same conversation, I didn't know these people, okay? She informs me that she says, and you won't believe this, I'm not like other women. I said, really? I'm thinking a lot of things in the back of my mind, I'm not saying it. Then she informs me that she has uh, a self lubricating vagina. And I didn't, what the, who in the fuck? What I ever do? I mean, God Almighty. I'm like, I'm thinking, what the hell brought that up? And then I'm wondering uh, a lot of things, you know, uh, just how much lubrication you get on that deal. You have to wear a diaper. Hell, I'm confused. After that first little bit, the next day come back, babe, well, he must be a queer. That's the deal. Especially here in Mississippi. For me, tell you what, if a woman gets talked to you, you're not really showing any interest, then you believe one thing. That's the jacket they'll throw over you. Okay, and if you're smart, you can save a lot of that with these gals. Just say, "Hey, I'm a queer." It's a lot easier to say that than it is to have to sit there and listen to things I had to hear. Now, uh, and so these uh, but these gals, the mama two friends, they were chasing the boy. Oh, it's not like they were even like on kid. No, it wasn't. Okay, so you talk about sexual deviance. So we don't know how many. We may never know how many husbands that Stephanie's had, but a bunch of them, and there's lots of anonymous friends with those guys. But so the boy Terrence decides he don't date him a tranny. I said, do what you do, you know. Well, I mean, I'm not. I got this ain't my whatever, you know. Uh, chicks with dicks ain't my deal. But hey, just hey, if you like it, I love it. The mama just goes off, and they blamed it on me. I said I turned him into, you turned him gay, made him take chicks with dicks, and and so this is stalking, folks. 101. Whoever's being taught, it's everything bad and their fucked up lives. They'll put that on the people they're targeting. And because of me, they had a transvestite problem. That's their word. And so this is coming from his mama. That was notorious for having brawls in the street with the biggest snitching, hideous, pathetic rat in the county, Haley Jane Thurman. Hey, what the hell was they fighting over? Yeah. So I've had to sit there and listen to this stuff. I can't tell you all that. Maybe we will next time. God Almighty, I can't. So these folks, yeah, she was a Stephanie's school teacher, and it was desperate to lose weight, especially after she met Sandy J. Whitlock, Oompa Loompa bitch, had her a new man boy over there smoking meth on tinfoil. And they did something about a man with meth, a straw, and some tinfoil that Stephanie Jameson Vaughn could not say no to. Sandy J, she was boy into banging her dope. But now, Worm Boy, Mylan Carter, he was 15 or 16. Okay. That's the age of consent, Mississippi. Mom on the books, it's statutory rape. If you, but you know, but who's looking at that? You know, splitting hairs. And so she probably eyeballed that, and she was trying to figure out a way how she could get that because he was something about that made him sexy. I tell you, folks, nothing about that deal, that boy that anybody could have derived as sexy. Okay, he's one of those that had some of y'all may not, uh, but you know, somebody's got real bad body odor. It's like they don't fucking know it. They in the grocery store fucking the whole store up, and all you want to discuss, you don't need, you got no business over in the candy. You go over in the hygiene aisle, and you need to handle that. That they can't smell it or something. Well, he had that body funk. But we can't turn these sea cows on there in Oklahoma. It's like a lure, you know, lured them. Uh, so, and of course, Tanya Davis eyeballs the boy too, and it didn't last long. And she somehow managed to get Mylan over to her house. At that time, she had a nice house, a custom built house, and everything that finally jerked out from under her ass and sold it. Her daddy did before he passed, and so much for that. So she had him over there. That was step one, and step two was, you know, he done been. She figured, well, I mean, he done been with Sandy J. Oompa Loompa, then I ain't gonna have no problems because I work magic. And Sandy J just ain't working with what I'm working with, and I mean, she's working with folks. Well, I tell you that the only thing that would fit her properly is just one of them big ass moo and she'd wear one in the evening. And if you ever stop by, see her, you might stop by and she'd have on one of them moo a see-through moo. Okay, it wouldn't be worth the shit if you could if it wasn't translucent. and she had the lighting in such a way, and she posed for every time she walked through a doorway. She'd stop and pose like that, like she was on the runway. Damnest thing you've ever seen. Well, so while he's over there, and of course they're smoking dope on tinfoil, Stephanie dropped by the school teacher, um, and the twinkle in her eye. Out of the three cows, Mylan chose Stephanie. That was a problem. Uh, he's the same age, younger than her. She's got two boys that we know of, in between age, and so they get high, and then uh, whatever happened next, it took place in the bedroom. I don't think they had a prayer meeting. They talked about what they talked about, but I've got an idea, and so she just stole him from Tanya. Only that made insult to injury. Now, she just lives right down the road. All these people are stalkers, by the way. They're the ones you color coordinate and talk about pointing fingers and all that stuff. I'm just giving you a snapshot of what their lives look like. It's the reason I'm telling y'all this. I'm gonna get to that. So stay with me. Stay with me. When we talk about airing some laundry, oh, hey, I got some laundry lists that should have a lot of people uh, shaking in their sandals about now. She lives less than a half, quarter mile off the same road as her, but she don't go home. Now, uh, she's got her younger son there that they started latchkeying his wild ass. Tucker McWright, that was married to McCreate. There's Tony. There's a lot of them, and, and so he if they all the kids basically raised themselves. I mean, he on up till he graduated high school, he was still pissing the bed every night like a racehorse. I just seemed like something that you might will get. I mean, that's and that won't have dreadlocks and all that. So you get, I want y'all to get the picture. When you see it, get up on it, and then you'll understand the whole picture. Okay, there's more to the story. Now she had a girl or two. Now she keeps the girls. They stayed over there with her stepdaddy, Eddie Roberts. I won't get on that either, folks. He took care of the girls, raised the girls, and I got firsthand information on some things, and of course that elderly couple, 10 days after they told me that, were dead. Okay, so this is how real it is. So Stephanie moves in without asking with Anya. Tanya, well, yeah, y'all can stay up, I guess. I mean, they asked, can we stay here? They just set up housekeeping because her mama, Deborah Roberts, and if you ever seen a picture of her, y'all care. You can get a picture from the time she was born until right now, on vacation or wherever. You'll never see that bitch crack a smile. Okay, well, you want to see a picture of stone cold hate and somebody full of hell, that's her. You can't. So you have to say that. So they stayed for about a year, and she'd go home and just occasionally, and because she didn't want nobody to see somebody underage coming in and out. Everybody shacked up. Okay, it was socially acceptable of that going on over at Tanya Davis's house. Well, of course, it's a revolving door, so she could try to hide under that guise. All that's a fact, folks. Did they all pass an underage boy? Yeah, sure damn did. Okay. Apparently, the police that run these clowns, they ain't got a problem with it. First, what to say, let's say, give a shit about none of that. Don't give a shit about the dope, none of this other stuff. All that's window dressing. All that is just to sound good. The very people that tell you that this is why they do this with the community, have a safer, better community. That's talking points. Okay, these are from these people have they'll have a moral compass. They operate off moral relativity, which means if everybody else is doing it, then it's okay. Including the fake ass preacher that's sanctioning this. And these are the people that continue. They up the likes of these people that I'm telling you about. Now, uh, now Stephanie started losing a lot of weight. I'll show you this picture. Now, she contends that she wouldn't have one of her stomachs removed and whatever what. I contend that it had everything to do with smoking meth. I've never seen that shit before in my life, much less smoked it, but they introduced me to it. That's where it all happened, right there in spades. Now, hear them tell it, I'm some kind of a dope pusher. Look, you said tell the truth and shame the devil. Look, listen, their truth uh, is uh, is always their lie. Remember that. When people, when these people go in and they do these smear tactics and just run these rumor mills, and when they do that, they'll go in every store you go into, that tell them this person steals and all that shit. That shit people told me. Uh, I and I've called these people everything but a child of God, and I'm gonna continue to do it, and I'm gonna continue to expose them. These pathetic, won't ever be nothing, have nothing. They're nobodies, and they, because of people like that, they've ruined millions of lives. So for those that are out there that have been targeted, you want to give up, and you feel like you're back in a corner, you're at the edge, at the end of your rope. I'm telling you, back on up a little bit, back on up. God not through with this deal yet, and He sure ain't through with them. You can count on that. You can count on it. And folks, let me tell you, they have their own, especially there in Chickasaw County, their own social network, their own social like farmers only. Uh, there's his KO. Let's knockout. Well, that's what I thought when I heard KO. And but that means Kim folks only. Okay. And when I mean Kim folks only, that means Kim folks only. When you sit there and you've got this mother, she tried to make they try to make me the devil. You know, he's in there telling her that his stepbrother David Jameson, that they'd been screwing since they was 10, and now he's at 18, and that had stopped. I wondered what the hell it was going on when they come over there, and that's what was going on. And then his cousin Jake, and then his uncle Channing. I mean, folks, let me tell you, that's acceptable. These people are the people pointing fingers and telling folks how bad and evil and all this bullshit. And of course, I'm not trying to get validated. I don't give a damn what you say or what you think. Okay? I'm on. And you should get all in your damn panties when I say what the fuck I want to say. The only difference is I'm going to tell the truth and keep it real. Okay? That's how that works. So as a result of more of the same and these on their constant attack of fake allegation, all this other shit, I get locked up. I stayed in jail for a year and a half. I still, hell, I said, did not no bond. Now for 2 years on that because of my YouTube channel, because of everything I was doing. But we got to shut him up. That's what they locked me up. I think they let me out. Time served. Of course, we're not going to have a trial or a court date. Nobody wants to have any conversation in a public forum. We still lock him up, and they just continuously lock him up, make him look like a career criminal because the real criminals, the ones with badges, going along with this shit. And these justice court judges and attorneys, everybody's cast their lot with the devil that's involved in this. So, once again, through the turmoil of fight, these people come in relentlessly. They're going to send them into your life. They're going to send the honey traps. They're going to send them in there. They're going to marry in the family, have kids. You date them. They put them in housing around you, and pay for that. This is an unlimited funded program because it's all about control and the power and the mechanism that makes this control possible is data. And that's why there's surveillance and the data they have on every single American, the AI running it. This is how they control the world. That's what it's about. It's not about fighting crime. It's anything but fighting crime. I thought a lot of things before I became an expert on this subject. Unfortunately, I am an expert on this subject, and I am very, very, very qualified to talk about the things that I'm talking about when it comes to targeting and these all these programs. Now, folks, when you, these and so Stephanie Owens and Jameson, and she's with 8 or 9 or 10, number 10, J.R. Smith, and he's a snitching rat, card carrying snitching rat. That's his. That's what his accomplishment in life. And of course, he's with a card carrying snitching rat. What are some of the other things that are common with the men that she picks? She never had a man that did not have the ability to suck the chrome off a trailer head. She's attracted to them. One of the worst arguments I ever saw there with that claim was Tanner arguing with the blowjob slob, his mama's uh, school age childhood friend, about who could give the best blowjob. They was arguing. And really, this was based off of what Jimmy Rape, the deputy sheriff that's not the sheriff anymore, because that's, I mean, too many kids and all that stuff. They swept it on the rug, basically fired his ass. And I've got those the articles and stuff. They tried to keep that hid. So apparently Jimmy Rape had told him one thing and told her the same thing. And I'm thinking, this shit here is fucking stupid. These people, what the hell? Listen, folks, let me tell you what. Sodom and Gomorrah got shit on this deal here. And folks, it's not just a pocket that's one off. This is nationwide. We see this now. We see what's going on in this country. Those people in Minnesota that are Wisconsin or wherever the hell they're out there raising hell with ice and all that stuff. Those protesters and those people that are getting shot in the face and everything else. And folks, I hate that. But let me tell you something. When you go to something protest and you're going to try to block a group of armed law enforcement officers, I don't know what the fuck you think the possible outcome could come with that. Okay, now this, I mean, good, bad, or indifferent. Now, if you think they're bad and you're still showing up and you don't get killed, then I'm scratching my head. Think about it. That's not peaceful protesting out there. Getting between them and getting in front of their car where they can't move, get out, and all that kind of stuff. That's called somebody with an imminent death wish. But those same people, that's the community oriented police. That's the same people that are in every state, in every city in America. And it's just whatever they're told to do that day because it's all for the betterment of whatever the kind of old crazy ass shit that they bought into. So I go to jail for a year, and guess what they did? They wanted me off the air. The powers of be. They wanted me to shut up. They wanted to do everything, cripple me financially. Hopefully, he'll die in jail. We'll try to drive him to that point, and it's not as if they didn't try. Torture and all those things are real. I documented that in federal filings. I filed federal court against them. So that's one of the ways I document. The reason they don't like it. They just don't like that. They don't like that. So not only did they kill my little dog, Lily, not only did they took my Mercedes Benz, it got carjacked, my computers, my recording equipment, my cameras, virtually everything that I had. And what they didn't steal was destroyed. Now, who was responsible? What it happened? Just so happened that Tanner Vaughn just almost uh, and it synchronized that he shows up at my house, and the next thing I'm getting dragged off jail. He's there. He's in place now. His mama making regular trips from one county to the other, and she was instrumental with stealing and everything else. Did she make you ever get him out of my house? Oh, hell no. How many videos did he make wearing my deceased dad's Letterman jacket from the University of Memphis? He played 5 years college ball. Ole Miss won 4, University of Memphis, and 5 for the San Diego Chargers. He made playing videos, and I've asked. I've sat back several times. I want my. I see all this check out jail stuff, and I'm devastated that everything. It was just, folks. You can't imagine at a place that was immaculate, and it was worse than somebody just living in squalor. I mean, what I had to throw away, what I did throw away, give away. How in the world? How in the world will I ever? I don't ever see that ever getting tuned back in to do what I believe God has called me to do. I'm questioning at this point that God could put me in this. What I mean, I'm not understanding the deal. But God told me. He said, "You're gonna go back into the enemy's camp, and you're gonna take back every damn thing the devil stole from you. You're gonna get it back." He's always helped true to his word. And of course, they sent plenty of people into the orbit of USAGSA as supporters and so forth, hoping, and then they would support a little bit, and bam, like that, try to make it ball. So that never worked. Okay, you know why? Because I don't have my ass on. That's God's deal. If these people get mad because I'm doing what I'm doing, take it up with God. Okay, thousands and hundreds of thousands, millions have been spent on watching and targeting yours truly. And yet here I am. That's the kind of God I serve. I didn't have a car. I didn't even have I stayed temporary in this house I was living in. I think the kitchen sink had water and maybe a toilet and a sink. That was it. I had to. A neighbor had to come get me every day, shower and wash clothes. It was just horrible. But God said that to go back to the enemy's camp. And what was the enemy's camp? Well, let's tell you what the enemy's camp, folks. The enemy's camp was, I forgot, away from the camera. The enemy's camp was doing the same thing that I was doing, but more of it. I'm going to do that. God, don't you worry about it. And I'm here to tell you and to encourage others, let you know it don't matter what they say, what they try to identify you as. Quit feeding into it. When I mean feeding into it, when you sit there and you claim they're destroying me, they're slowly killing me. Hell, we're all, we know it's going to get out of this, leave this place alive, folks. Okay? Quit focusing on that. Quit focusing on that. How many people, I get my ears buzz all the time, all that kind of shit. Let me tell you, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. It's my job to shine the light in this darkness, and that light is the light of truth. My dad's uh, Letterman jacket. You know what? They felt like it was like I'm talking about nobody. We can have everything they have is ours. Y'all know that that's one of the things they tell them when they're doing these land grabs. They always want their assets, their money, they steal money, credit cards, and all that stuff. It's every crime, these crimes that you're seeing in America. Do you realize that the majority of these crimes they're being committed, that you think from shoplifting to arson, rape, murder, the whole deal, extortion, embezzlement, it doesn't matter. These are actually orchestrated to keep the machine fed, the machine moving, the perfect paradigm. We got the crime, we got this problem, we have the answer. We can build more jails, we can do this, we can do that. And so that is that for just an organic crime take place. And folks, it would blow all of our minds if we how small and minute that number is, and compared to those orchestrated crimes that appear organic. That's fact. That's fact. So, with my mother's passing, I could, a lot of people could be real bitter at the years that was taken away from my family, and my family taken away, the heartache and the things that they had to endure. That's why I'm here today in the face of every single person that has wrongfully come against an innocent person with that lie, with that rumor, participating your part with it, just driving by their house at a certain time every day. How minor you think it is? Let me tell you, I'm going to be the one. I'm going to continue to be the one that's going to continue to exploit and expose your sorry asses until the cows come home. I don't live in fear. I don't look over my shoulder. I'll promise you. I don't do what I do and have a yellow streak in me. Now, these cowards, they got him target, they full of it. Can't get the gas pedal to work. Can't get them to do it because they're cowards of the herd. They're not patriots. They're not God-fearing men and women. It's the army of Satan himself, and they come in the form of these people coming out of churches and everything else. It's just as fake as plastic can be. That's what they got. That's what they're working with. Oh yeah, and so we're gonna keep. We're gonna name the names. We're gonna name the names. Yeah, I could go on and on about this family and these folks and those ones that they inserted in the deal and had the audacity. And Stephanie got her latest happening. As far as I know, who knows? With J.R. Smith, this uh, worthless rat snitch. And I know he talks a mean, tough game. But you know what? I'm not hard to find. I'm not hard to find. And your best day, and you talk a mean game. If you mean mug, you do all that stuff. But you ain't run up on me with that. And that's I know, and you know, and the other ones know anybody else that thinks they want uh to to come at me any other way other than the right way, it might not be a good idea. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. My mom and dad didn't raise no coward. And I'm grateful that I was drove to church every time the doors was open. I've made plenty of mistakes in my life, but I promise you it didn't have nothing to do with my raising. I was raised right. Many of us have made it look like we wasn't raised right, and at times. But I can tell you, uh, I was raised right. I can't imagine the way I was raised. Let me tell you what, folks. This, uh, this there's no way I could have ever been or could ever be involved in something. And these people have been telling this, and they already watching people and all this kind of shit. Folks, you know, when I was growing up, hell, peeping tom shit that was a bad word. Well, hell, ain't a bad word now. I think we need to make peeping tom what a peeping tom should be again. I mean, you talk about these. I mean, really, folks, it is just really. These folks are damn. I didn't realize it's that bad, folks, but it is. So we've got these. And you can see Stephanie, of course, she told the people at the school uh, that because she had her stomachs pulled and reason she's losing weight. She didn't tell me to do with all that dope. They figured it was the dope, okay, for a lot of reasons, you know. That was a damn dead giveaway. You see this picture here, when she got she smoking the dope, and she got fired in Holyoke, Mississippi, as a school teacher because they told, well, if you piss in a cup. Oh, hell no. And so the piss cup, that's over. So that's it. She lost her job. Blame that on me, Stephanie. I was in jail because of some old bullshit. But somehow that's my fault. No, it's your fault for staying high on meth. And then you get a job over in Nelson Lee County School District. And you know what? They don't give a shit. Those parents, they don't care that's a teacher that teaches their second, third grade is hiring to pound meth every day. I mean, folks, that's the truth. That's the day. It wasn't like they didn't know it. Oh, ignore him. That guy, he's crazy. Just get the fanny. Get that word. Spell it, bitch. You can't spell it. It's all it's the talking points. That's the truth. They have a problem with it. They have a problem with it. And now I've noticed that with recent pictures that it looks like that she went and got that stomach back. So buyer beware on this deal. I'm going to wrap it up with this on this family of stalkers and the deflection. All the things that I've mentioned here, all the things they accuse other people doing. Okay. Uh, her individual that is involved where she gets her dope. Says that 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 Jr. The husband that bitching and complaining, they stopped. They ain't get it more. Okay, so y'all got you, and folks, just because she's blown back out, that is it got nothing to do with it. Okay, because the new tweakers, they've got different ingredients in the dope, uh, and so they get high. And used to, you know, they'd be hunting a coloring book or a bucket of paint or some wrenches, to rebuild a motor or something instantly, and everybody else's and all that kind of shit. Whatever they're doing with it now is the first thing they do. Is there a golden corral around here somewhere? I'm hungry as hell. They eat like a son of a bitch and they're putting on weight, but they're high over dope. Okay, so Don't use that as a gauge for those that say, well, I was getting high. She waddled in the store today. I'm so proud to see her, all 400 pounds of her, really. So now, what would you have a problem with? If 80 pounds or morbidly obese? Okay. Either way, it's a drag on society and the health system and everything else. So that's the deal. Oh, and on that, they started a church, the gathering place down there in Oklahoma. Don't go down there and gather. What's they gathering about? Supposed to be some kind of church. But when you now this airs and you're confronted with what I've just said, and you don't, and you say that's not true. Anything you say that's not true, then y'all know if y'all confront any of these individuals, they say it's not true. Then one thing you can know, you can bet your ranch on this, bitch. They lied. That's a lying bitch. Okay. Okay. Now, so is that where you want to be? Because God ain't, you ain't gonna find. Get one of those places and hunt God. He ain't lost for you to find him anyhow. You're the one's lost. He ain't in that place. Okay, believe that. Not operate these people. It's we'll know the tree by the fruit it bears. Am I right or wrong? Okay. Am I right or wrong? And so, folks, the truth is always the truth. And that's not a comfortable thing to talk about. But I just thought that I will get that. So that jacket, and there's a quilt that my aunt made that and gave it to my mother, and she had taken all these family pictures, my cousins and my mother and that, and me, the child, my brothers and sisters, all those had gone ahead and screen print them, and then sold them and made this beautiful quilt with all these family pictures on them. Well, you know that that's the only quilt they took. That's the only quilt they stole. Vaughn and his mama and them demons, they took that. And these family heirlooms, it means I'm a nobody. He's a nothing. That stuff's ours. They do whatever they want to with it. Okay. Get it how you live. Because I'm going to tell you what. We're just getting started here. We're just getting started. Folks, you want to hang on real close, folks, because the next show I do on this subject, I've got several shows lined up, things lined up. The next show we do on this subject, where we air this nasty ass laundry, I'm going to take you over to Amory, Mississippi, in Monroe County, and we're going to talk about an attorney and his and the whore he's married to, and we're going to take them down through there. And I'm going to tell you all the things they thought they never have to worry about getting told. But guess what? That's my job. Your job is to be a community pathetic stalker. My job is to expose your ass. And that's what we're here for, USAGSA. Folks, if you will take a stand with USAGSA, I encourage you to follow one of the links in the description of this video. You can be a paid subscriber. You can be a patron on Patreon. Paid subscriber on my Substack. I've written extensively about these programs, the tactics, and giving voice to the voiceless. There's a super thanks down there. You can be a channel member. There's a lot of ways you can take a stand to support what I'm not doing this for money. Not doing this for money. Not this for money. But I'll tell you this, folks. In 5 years, and a year and a half of that, I'm sitting in the jail. I don't not do. So well, I'm afraid I'm gonna get locked up. Well, look, for those that are afraid to take a stand and afraid they might get locked up, that's the reason we're in the damn shape we're in now, because there's too many cowards out there. They're scared. Okay? And that's the reason we got all these damn problems. It's because people are scared to speak up, scared to fight for their rights, scared to stand up and say that Constitution applies to me as well. What's wrong is wrong, and right is right. Damn City Hall or damn rocking the boat, I'm trying to turn the damn thing over. We're going to continue to do that. Let me hear from you. Welcome your comments. My contact information in the description of this video. Until next time, God bless.
Ain't no motherfucker in this world could do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, not fucking likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running shit right, see. And I ain't playing games, I create my own lane, making pleasure out of pain, turning losses into gains. I'm the boss, I'm making change. I've been rocking this exchange, popping off and risking things. Gonna make a fucking name, I just wanna be famous. But I don't want that cheap fame, no I'm not that